The term market designates the place where people will gather after the blowing of the second trumpet of resurrection. Expiry refers to the place where all human beings will be gathered after being resurrected from their graves to be judged. The term yevmo is also used to describe the time of judgment. When the trumpet is blown for the first time, except for the angels that God wills, all living beings will die, and the order of heaven and earth will be disrupted. In the Quran, it is described that the day of judgment will be an event of immeasurable proportions, where all of humanity will be called to account before Allah. This day, known as Yawm al-Qiyamah, will be announced by the blast of the trumpet, a sound so powerful that it will destroy the existing order of heaven and earth, bringing with it the end of life as we know it. The importance of this day lies in the fact that it is the moment when every soul will be judged according to its actions and faith. After the reorganization of the heavens and the earth in another manner, during the second breath, when the trumpet is blown the second time, the souls of every human being will reunite with their resurrected bodies. In other words, the souls will be connected to their resurrected bodies. When the trumpet sounds for the first time, except for those whom Allah wills, the angels, the heavens, and the earth will all be destroyed. It will blow another time, and here they will stand. See Surah Az-Zumar. This resurrection, described in the Quran, underscores the immense magnitude of the Day of Judgment. The first trumpet marks the end of all life, while the second trumpet brings forth a new reality, where all human beings will rise from their graves to face the final judgment. On this day, every soul will be reunited with its body, symbolizing the complete restoration of each individual before their Creator. After the resurrection, everyone will be directed to a place called machar, where they will gather. The trumpet has sounded. Here is the day of the threat, and it comes with a driver and a witness. Surah Al-Kahf. On that day, the earth will be transformed into another earth, and the heavens as well, and people will be presented before Allah, the One, the Irresistible. Surah Ibrahim. The machar, where the resurrected creatures will gather, will be an extraordinarily vast and flat place, without constructions and without structures, completely new. In this vast and desolate setting, every human being will present themselves before their Creator to account for their actions. This day will be of great solemnity and significance, where there will be no room for deceit or lies. Allah, in His infinite justice and mercy, will judge each individual equitably and precisely. The transformation of the earth and the heavens symbolizes the radical change that will occur, a complete break from the world as we know it. The Prophet Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, said that the people on the day of resurrection will gather in a flat place, white like pure flour, according to a hadith reported by Abu Hurairah. They will be brought to the machar in 3 groups, on foot, on horseback, and suffering the punishment of fire. According to another narration by Tirmidhi, the 3rd group will be dragged to the machar while crawling on their faces. Once humans and jinns are gathered in the machar, they will be subjected to a prolonged wait filled with fear and anxiety while awaiting judgment. It is said that this period will last between 1,000 and 50,000 years. The description of the machar as a vast, white, and pure place underscores the solemnity and importance of this event. The 3 groups heading to the machar reflect the different realities and consequences of our actions in earthly life. Those who walk or ride horses could represent those who lived with righteousness and faith, while those dragged by fire or crawling on their faces symbolize those who rejected divine teachings and committed grave injustices. The Prophet Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, will receive the banner of praise called Liwa al-Hamd, and with this banner, he will hasten the judgment and accounting of people in the machar. All the prophets, starting with Adam, alayhi salam, will gather under the banner of the Prophet Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, in the machar to facilitate and expedite the judgment and accounting of human beings. The great Prophet Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, will intercede. This intercession is called Shafa'ati, my supreme intercession, and his station is called Maqam Mahmud. The Liwa al-Hamd symbolizes the honor and mercy of the Prophet Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who will play a crucial role on the Day of Judgment. The gathering of all prophets under his banner highlights his special position and the respect he holds even among Allah's other messengers. This intercession will not only alleviate the anxiety and fear of the wait, but also offer hope and comfort to believers who yearn for Allah's mercy. During the judgment, the sun in the gathering place will draw close to people's heads, who will face unbearable difficulties and suffering, waiting anxiously for a long time, seeking someone to intercede to relieve them from this difficult situation. Some will tell others to go to Adam. Adam will recall his sin of eating the forbidden fruit and send them to Noah. Noah will send them to Ibrahim. Ibrahim will send them to Moses. Moses will send them to Jesus, and Jesus will finally send them to the last prophet, Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This pilgrimage of humanity in search of intercession reflects the deep anguish and desperation that will be experienced on the Day of Judgment. The closeness of the sun symbolizes the intense heat and pressure that people will feel as they await their fate. The chain of intercessors, including the greatest prophets, underscores the magnitude of the event and the seriousness of the situation. Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, will prostrate and praise Allah in the most beautiful manner that will be inspired to him. Then Allah will say, "O Muhammad, raise your head. What you ask will be granted, intercede, and your intercession will be accepted." In that sublime moment, the Prophet Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, will demonstrate his closeness and devotion to Allah through unparalleled praise. His prostration and supplication will be an act of deep humility and reverence, reflecting his role as the noblest of human beings and the final messenger of Allah. Allah's response, granting him the power to intercede, highlights the greatness of his status and the magnitude of his compassion for his ummah. Then Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, will make supplications to Allah, and Allah will respond to his prayers. Then the judgment and accounting will begin. A court of justice will be established, and each person will be questioned about their actions in this world. The books of deeds will be handed out, and a balance will be set. Everyone will be called in the company of their guides, whether towards disbelief and error or towards faith and guidance. The Quran mentions that on that day, everyone will be called with their leaders. Those whose book is handed to them in their right hand will read their book and will not be harmed by anything. Surah Al-Isra. Everyone will hear the judicial command, read their record, and understand what is written in their book of deeds. That day we will seal their mouths, their hands will speak to us, and their feet will testify to what they had done. Surah Yasin. After a person dies, the body decomposes, and its molecules and materials pass to other animals and humans. Allah, in the resurrection in the hereafter, will recreate the individual from a molecule that he will preserve, being the initial part of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. The image of the divine court of justice is powerful and evocative. On this day, the scales of justice will be precise and fair, weighing every action, good or bad. The books of deeds, handed over in the right or left hand, will determine the fate of each soul. Those who receive their book in their right hand will be the fortunate ones, freed from harm and anguish, while those with the book in their left hand will face painful consequences. The testimony of one's own hands and feet is a strong reminder that our actions cannot be hidden. Every part of our being will testify to our actions, emphasizing the importance of living with integrity and piety. The resurrection from a preserved molecule demonstrates Allah's infinite power to recreate each individual, maintaining their identity and essence intact. For other humans, Allah will protect a tiny particle that completely contains the body's plan, similar to a particle of gold. From this molecule, Allah will recreate the human body, adding the other elements necessary to form the complete body. Even during their presence on earth, the body is completely renewed every 5 to 6 years, replacing dead and lost cells with new ones. Therefore, the individual's body and organs on the Day of Judgment will not be identical to those of their earthly life. This process of bodily renewal that naturally occurs in earthly life is a reminder of the power and precision with which Allah has designed creation. Allah's ability to recreate a body from a single molecule demonstrates His omnipotence and perfect knowledge. Although our bodies in the hereafter will not be the same as those we had on earth, they will be formed in a way that preserves our identity and essence. If one asks how a person's limbs will be created from new material, although similar to the previous ones, and how they will testify about criminal acts committed by the former organs, the correct answer is as follows. The human soul is intrinsically linked to the individual. The human being remains unchanged and immortal, preserved without alteration. The information about all the individual's conscious actions in this world is kept intact in their soul. The recreation of the human body on the Day of Judgment does not alter the individual's essence. Although the limbs and organs will be formed anew, they will be imbued with the same soul that carries the complete record of all actions performed in earthly life. This immortal and constant soul is the true witness of all our actions and thoughts, and it is through it that Allah will judge each person with justice. Allah, the Most High, will seal the individual's mouth on the Day of Judgment, and miraculously, their organs, such as hands and feet, will speak to reveal information related to their internal actions. On that day, the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, will be equipped with an enormous basin, whose magnitude is comparable to the distance between Medina and Sana'a, or between a city of Damascus and Sana'a. The water in this basin is clearer than milk, its fragrance more pleasant than musk, and its taste sweeter than honey. The cups of this basin are as numerous as the stars in the sky. Whoever drinks from it once will never again feel thirst. The believers will quench their heat and the terror of the Day of Judgment by drinking water from this basin before entering paradise. The image of the organs testifying about our actions highlights the absolute divine justice of Allah. Although our mouths will be sealed, our own limbs will account for our actions, revealing the truth of our lives with no possibility of hiding anything. This miraculous testimony reminds us that every part of our being is under Allah's observation and that our actions have eternal consequences. The description of the Prophet Muhammad's sallallahu alaihi wasallam basin, known as Al-Kawthar, offers a vision of hope and mercy for the believers. It's pure and revitalizing water, clearer than milk, with a fragrance more pleasant than musk, and a taste sweeter than honey, is a divine reward for those who have maintained their faith. Drinking from this basin symbolizes the spiritual relief and satiation that the believers will experience after the trials of the Day of Judgment. The cups, as numerous as the stars in the sky, indicate the abundance and generosity of Allah towards His faithful servants. This scene, full of beauty and comfort, encourages us to persevere in our faith and good deeds, knowing that a divine reward awaits us. Al-Kawthar not only quenches physical thirst, but also spiritual thirst, offering a prelude to the paradise that is to come. However, according to a hadith quoted by Tirmidhi, it is said that on the Day of Judgment, every prophet will have their own basin. I hope to be the one with the most people drinking from mine, said the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He also said in a hadith, when people approach the basin, some will be excluded. We will say, these are the ones who changed their religion after you, and you do not know what they did after you. Then I will say, you lost those who altered their religion after me. This statement of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, highlights the importance of faithfulness and perseverance in faith. The presence of each prophet with their own basin symbolizes the divine reward reserved for the loyal followers of each prophetic message. The Prophet Muhammad's desire to have the most followers drinking from his basin reflects his love and compassion for his ummah, community, and his hope that they remain steadfast on the path of Islam. After the judgment of individuals on the Day of Judgment, a bridge called Sirat will be constructed, established between the machar and paradise, above hell. People will be sent to hell in groups, and some will be directed towards heaven. The Sirat Bridge is an extremely thin and sharp structure, described in hadiths as finer than a hair and sharper than a sword. This bridge symbolizes the final test of faith and the actions of each individual. Believers who live their lives with righteousness and obedience to Allah will cross the Sirat with ease and speed, while those whose actions were evil and who deviated from the right path will find great difficulty in crossing it. The Quran and the Hadiths teach us that the light of faith and good deeds will illuminate the believer's path in this difficult crossing. Some will pass like a lightning bolt, others like a swift wind, some like a galloping horse, and others will barely be able to crawl, clinging desperately not to fall into the abyss of hell that lies beneath. The vision of the Sirat reminds us of the importance of our actions and the need to live according to Allah's teachings. Those who are sent to hell will go in groups, reflecting their evil actions and the company they kept in earthly life. In contrast, those who are directed towards paradise will find the eternal reward and peace promised by Allah to the faithful. This moment marks the culmination of divine justice, where each soul will receive their due according to their deeds and Allah's mercy. There is an answer to all your questions. Join our community to explore the beauty of Islam together. Subscribe and activate notifications to be inspired by rewarding content. Thank you for joining us on this journey. May Allah bless you abundantly and grant you peace and clarity in every step you take.